Being wealthy is definitely a big aspect of it.
To save a lot of money.
Earning money.
It's very important to be rich. It's easy for people to say they don't care about having money and that money can't buy happiness, but that's really not true.
Hey, are you the one who is looking around for happiness thinking that one day I will be a millionaire and will be so happy, or I will be the topper of my class or have a job in a top company, then I will be happy? Sorry to say, but in a scientific way, it's not like that. In today's world, people are not really good at judging what will make them happy. Most studies on happiness find older people and ask them to recall what made them happy. But as we've just seen, memory is unreliable, so a better way to conduct a study would be to follow people throughout their entire lives, capturing the choices they make and those affect their happiness. That is really hard to do. But there is one study like this that's been running since 1938. Now, 85 years is a long time to run a study, so it has been passed down from one generation of researchers to the next. It's currently run by its fourth director, Robert Waldinger. The study actually began as two separate studies by two groups of Harvard researchers that didn't know about each other. The first group followed 268 young men from Harvard to find out how they would develop into early adulthood. The second group studied boys from middle school onwards from Boston's poorest and most disadvantaged families. So there were these two studies, both meant to be studies of what goes right in development and how we predict who does well as they grow up. Eventually, the two studies merged into one, the Harvard study of adult development. At the start of the study, the participants were interviewed and received extensive physical examinations. And as they grew, they entered all walks of life. Some of them became bricklayers and doctors and factory workers and lawyers, and one even became president of the United States. Every 2 years, researchers asked them questions about their lives, like if you could stop working without loss of income, what would you do instead? Do you think life has more pain than pleasure? And other questions about their marriage, career, friendships, and their physical and mental health. While the study started with just participants, with time, their spouses and children were also included in the study. So what do 85 years of research across entire human lives teach us about a healthy and happy life? Two huge takeaways, really. One is not surprising. It's that if you take care of your physical health, it has huge benefits, not just for your longevity, but for how long you stay healthy. Eating well, getting regular exercise, not abusing alcohol or drugs, not smoking, getting preventive health care. Exercise is hugely important. People who exercise just 15 minutes a day had a 14% reduced risk of dying and a 3-year longer life expectancy. Every additional 15 minutes of exercise decreased the risk of dying by an extra 4%. And then the big surprising finding is relationships not just keeping us happier, but keeping us healthier and helping us live longer. It's not just a Harvard study. There's now a whole list of studies that show the importance of relationships to human happiness and health. They teach us 3 main lessons. The first is that relationships are great for our health. There's one study, I think it's pretty well respected, that suggests that married men live 14 years longer on average than unmarried men, and married women live 7 years longer on average than unmarried women. There is a researcher, Julianne Holt-Lundstad, who did meta-analysis of a whole slew of studies of the physical effects of loneliness, and her calculation was as being lonely is as dangerous to your health as smoking half a pack of cigarettes a day, or as dangerous as being obese. Well, loneliness is different from being alone, right? Imagine a scale where one end represents extroversion, meaning someone who loves being around lots of people, and the other end represents introversion, where someone prefers solitude and doesn't need many people around. Being alone doesn't necessarily mean feeling lonely. Some people called introverts actually enjoy being alone and find it refreshing. They might only need 1 or 2 close relationships to feel fulfilled. On the other hand, extroverts thrive on having lots of people around them. They enjoy socializing and feel happiest when surrounded by friends and acquaintances. Both introverts and extroverts are perfectly healthy. It's just that they have different preferences when it comes to socializing. So whether you like being alone or being around others, there's nothing wrong with either way. So the second lesson is that it's not how many people you know or see, or even whether you're married or not, because a bad marriage can be worse for your health than getting divorced. Instead, it's about the quality of your close relationships that matters. And when that participants were in their 80s, the researchers asked them, what are you most proud of and what is your biggest regret? Many people said that they were proudest of something to do with their relationships. So it could be I was a good boss, I was a good parent, I was a good friend, I was a good mentor. Nobody said I made a fortune, right? Nobody even said, I won the Nobel Prize, which a few people did. Everybody looking back mentioned their relationships. So what about our original question? Do achievements and money really make us happy? Well, according to the Harvard study, badges of achievement do not necessarily make us happier, but doing meaningful work can. And what about money? Does that make us happier? Relationships, meaningful work, and money all play a role in our happiness.